Shall we look at what has Asmon been up to recently? So you know, Asmon, as always, every day he logs in, he goes on a stream, and he says nothing. But you know what happens? You know what happens? Someone else in the world wakes up and dreams. It came to them in a dream that Asmon put a slander toward every race, every gender, every sexuality, every country, every like human like object that exists, and they go on Twitter and they write it out like he's the biggest villain that ever exists.
PC Focus reports Sweet Baby Inc.'s Chris Kindred is now trying to get Capcom to remove Asmongold from being a pawn in Dragon's Dogma 2 for...
So Asmon is getting paid to make a pawn, like a side character that people can play in Dragon's Dogma 2. These people have approached him and be like, we want you to have money. You're getting money. Yeah. And not even small amount of money, thousands of dollars to be a part of our game.
Quote unquote harassment. Chris Kindred, isn't that the person that...
Wait, let's read this. So let's read it. Introducing the second round of Dragon's Dogma 2 official pawns. Now joining the fray, and Asmon and like a VTuber and 2 other people are within it, right? I don't know exactly who everyone else is. The Swear Hunter, they're probably great. And then is this one, Chris Kindred. If you don't remember who Chris Kindred is, this is one of the Sweet Baby Inc. employees or owners. I'm not sure if they're employee or owner that were targeting harassment toward the one creating that Steam group, which are just labeling games that have worked with Sweet Baby Inc. So this individual here wanted people to go and harass them, block them, report them to Steam, so they would turn down, like basically get their Steam account disabled, and also get rid of that group that were just literally labeling Sweet Baby Inc. games, nothing else. And they saw that as a threat, so they wanted to use that as a reason to harass them. Also, background, they also have said a lot of racial stuff about like white people. They are a clear racist. And now they come up because Asmongold was talking about the topic. He gave it spotlight, and he was on the side of the guy that just wanted to create a group that labeled games that work with a specific company. That's it. That's crazy. Isn't one of these people is an active participant in harassment campaign? That's crazy. Isn't one of these people is an active participant in the harassment campaign? Where, like, is this wrong? Am I fucked up, or did they write this like while they were mad? I feel like they were mad and had like a spelling check, like had a inaccurate like a spelling error there, because they must have seen this and gone furious. And I wonder who they're talking about, because Asmon doesn't harass anybody. He just chills out. He just talks about stuff.
Quote unquote harassment. Chris Kindred, isn't that the person that hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people saw harass a Steam?
Doesn't even know that to write. Can you believe that?
User, a Brazilian.
Well, what do you assume? I'm gonna be real. I think everybody that is a racist is a moron. I think if you're a racist, you're actually just dumb. Like, straight up. So what do you expect from a moron to do whenever they're trying to write something? They get mad and they start writing and typing without thinking.
Steam user for
making
a detected group, like trying to get the whole group banned. And like trying to get that dude's personal account like banned too.
Just look at this shit, man. Look at this. Like, hello? Man, you gotta get out. You gotta stop seeing this like that, man. You gotta calm down, lay down, relax.
So now they're apparently on Twitter
can't be racist against white people. And you know what's the fucked up thing? Is that there's a lot of people that believe that. I think that is disgusting. I find it so disgusting. I remember I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw this girl with a dark skin color blatantly saying the most racist things against white people. And I reported it. And I got a message from TikTok saying that they could not find any racist or harassment regarding like the topic they were talking about. And they were blatantly saying so much bad stuff about white people. And TikTok is like, that's fine. They didn't say anything racist. So this like agenda has gone into like companies' workflow and support files in America because it's so normal that people are completely fine with it. I'm like flabbergasted. I'm a European man. Brother, white people isn't a thing here. You have Polish, you have Russians, you have English, you have Spanish, you have Swedish. They are all skin-colored whites. We don't look at people as white. But when you like take them all into consideration and start being blatantly racist like that, the way you're saying things are insane. Danish people, all right, we can fuck around with the Danes, that's fine. But you get what I'm saying? Isn't it like the problem I have is that even though it's a social issue with America, I think it's really sad that the internet it's international at this point. But still, these social issues are spreading everywhere on the internet that have nothing to do with it. Brother, America, like the continent of North America, because I don't think even South America has these ideals. The continent of just North America is not such a big percentile of the world that this could be the whole worldview on the internet. It's just so weird. Do you get what I'm saying? Maybe I'm going a little bit far here, but you know what I'm saying.
Arguably harassment.
Hi, Radio. Hi, Meager. How you doing, buddy?
Right there. Let's check out the picture provided by PC Focus. So we've got Dragon's Dogma saying, introducing the second round of Dragon's Dogma 2 official pawns now join the fray, and including Asmongold right there, with Chris Kindred apparently responding to that, quote tweeting it and saying, "That's crazy. Isn't one of these people is an active part." What?
Think about the population in the US is huge and makes a big portion of the internet. Yeah, but how much do you think, like, of internet users? How much, if you take the population of the internet, like let's say YouTube, for example, let's just use YouTube as an example. How big of a percentile do you think are Americans? Or like from United States? Let's just say United States. So, United States YouTube percentile audience. This one doesn't really tell me enough info. This doesn't even tell me enough info. Let me see. So India is nearly double the size of US, by the way.
Is an active part.
Brother, how far do I have to go? Oh, it's in the middle. YouTube users. India, 462 million, while USA is 239 million. Brazil, 144 million. Indonesia, 139 million. Mexico, 83 million. Japan, 78 million. And do you think any of these countries, like all of these countries, have the same racial view as US? No, they don't. It is weird that United States social issues are spread through all medias because people view this stuff as racist. And it's weird. It's uncomfortable. It is not a pleasant thing. And most of the time, people kind of go to the internet not thinking about like the general like politics that are going around the world. They go to the internet to like disconnect, think about other things, have a little bit of fun. But this stuff is starting to be like, in my opinion, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like these kind of things are being pushed at your face more and more, that everything is racist, everything is blah, 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 politics left and right. I think it's funny whenever they talk about Trump, but otherwise, I feel like politics are being talked about more and more.
Participant in a harassment campaign. Ugh, how dare these gamers.
And it lost its meaning.
Trump.
Yeah, a lot of words also lost its meaning.
In the AAA games industry, we can't have that. Us corpos need to keep our money and keep our grift going. We better call it a harassment campaign. Yeah, okay. Responses include, you know, if SBI didn't want to come off as bad as it already is, they probably'd get rid of Kindred ASAP, but let's be honest, they don't care. As well as most likely signaling Asmongold for daring to touch the issue. You know, it's crazy.
The thing is that he just talked about it. He didn't really do anything more. He just talked about it, and now he's apparently a campaign harasser. Like, isn't that like, how fragile are you? Like, he was just talking about it. He didn't do anything. He didn't tell his viewers to go join the group, harass this individual, talk about them, blah blah. He just talked about the topic and gave his thoughts.
If you're not on Twitter, you probably haven't seen this, but on Twitter,
there's
been a lot of journalists, a lot of Corbo journalists, you know, gaming journals and all that, trying to defend.
Of course, as a 35 plus black guy, I'm so annoyed when people call everything racist, because it loses its meaning. Like, it does lose its meaning, because like, I feel like they haven't actually met a racist. I have met racists. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, a lot of old people, and definitely like, I've seen even young racists, they make you uncomfortable. It's very a different dynamic, because they actually, what racism means, they actually fully fulfill that. They look at other people and other races as lower, and you're like an individual that looks at everybody as just humans. Like, everybody's the same. Every human is the same. There are just different genetics, and that's pretty much it. But there are people out there that actually are actual racists. And when you meet an actual racist and you know how an actual racist behaves, you will not say that people stating facts or talking about such a situation are racist, because you know what the word truly means. But whenever people blatantly spread it out like everything is racist, every mention of a country is racist. If you appreciate, like, I remember there was like a girl that really appreciated the Chinese culture, and she used like a traditional Chinese dress. And a lot of people, I saw it on media, like a lot of people were calling her racist just because she loved Chinese culture. She used the Chinese dress. But this woman is just embracing another culture. But for some people, some views, this is racism. You're ruining the meaning. And you know what it does? It ruins the factor of actually calling out actual racists. It blands it out, it muds the water, and it makes everything worse.
And SBI.
Like a dress shit? Yeah, like, I'm gonna be, in Norway, we have our own traditional dress. It's called bunad. We have it for women, we have it for men. You don't know how excited and happy Norwegians are whenever people from other countries wear their traditional clothing. They're super excited. They're thrilled because they're embracing their culture. It's an amazing thing. But some people, and definitely on the internet, see that as something bad. And it doesn't even come from people from that culture. They love it themselves. Everybody loves it because it's nice. People are proud of where they're from. People are proud of their country, and they're proud of their culture. And they're happy when people from another culture or another country loves it. That's just how it is. It's nice.
Are constantly posting the very bigoted.
I never had one. Yeah, usually girls tend to have one. It's like, it's so expensive. Like, often men just wear suits nowadays.
Always have said, which includes bigotry against white people, black people, Jewish people, gay people, and probably more that I'm not aware of. And so these screenshots get posted to the journos and
let me actually read what all of you have been saying. AFD, PO, right-wing extremist partisans are literally untouched because they called socials Nazis if they are against the current narrative. It's same with Nazis. Like, a lot of things are losing its meaning. They call disagreeing racist, and that's the problem. True. There's a lot of problems to it, but definitely that is a big factor. Racist people who don't know what their race is obviously are going to use the word racist wrong. You're not, you're not wrong. you're not wrong. Watering down and meaning helps the actual bad ones. Exactly does. And people don't realize it. Like, I think it's attention bait most of the time. Because I don't really, it doesn't make sense to me. It must be attention bait to be calling out people racist, Nazis, hate on this group, hate on this, that. And I even said hate on this group, hate on this, that. Isn't that like, that's hateful. Like hating on a group as well. Like, I feel like a lot of people that tend to scream these things and try to witch hunt people for racism or anything like that, they're usually the one at fault. They're usually the guy that the word defines. It's so wild. My view on in my view, racism is being used instead of the real issue, which is the inclusion of the LGBTQ whatever community. LGBT communities say they are inclusive, but if you disagree with their redirect, then you are wrong, which is elevating of one person over another. And you know what? I want to tell you something. I'm bisexual, right? I have a lot of gay friends. I cannot name you 2 of my friends that associate themselves with the LGBTQ community. Do you know why? Because they are obnoxious. They are annoying. Nobody wants to be associated with somebody that is constantly brigading on hate. It is annoying. We don't care. Hello, how you doing?
Are like, yo, why aren't you denouncing this? Why are you saying nothing about this? None of you are ever acknowledging the bigotry over SBI. And they're always radio silent about that. They never denounce it or anything, while simultaneously trying to act like they're the most morally pure people out there. Even though you must be racist. Innocent giant victims. Circling back to
the amount of bright and happy eyes I had whenever I wore like traditional Japanese clothing. I was in a wedding. I was in 2 festivals. It was nice. I had a lot of positive like response to that. Like, if you post that on the internet, people might be like, you're a racist. People might go nuts over it. You never know. Because I'm gonna just tell you right now, I don't look East Asian. I'm Norwegian, okay? So like, if I would post a picture, I bet people would be calling me a racist for wearing traditional Japanese clothing made by a Japanese man, recommended by a Japanese man, and requested by 2 Japanese people to do. But still, I would be probably labeled a racist because I embrace their cultural clothing.
In Dragon's Dogma, this tweet has also been going around where let's read the description here. A game critic / reporter
it looks really scuffed, that game.
Second best host of Girl Mode Pod. Anyways, the tweet reads, emerged from my COVID haze to see Capcom using someone who just mainstreamed a hate campaign against marginalized people in gaming to promote Dragon's Dogma. And I just wish the games industry weren't embarrassing and actively dangerous at every turn. I'm going back to bed.
You guys can't see it, but like, when did Zach ever do this? Asmongold. When did Asmongold do all of this? This is what I talked about. When did he do this? Emerged from my COVID haze to see Capcom using someone mainstream a hate campaign against marginalized people to promote Dragon's Dogma. What? What does COVID have to do with it? Also, what? And I just wish the gaming industry embarrassing and actively dangerous at every turn. What the, brother? I can't even read, man. I'm getting, my brain is turning off. I can't even read what they're saying. What? Like, I'm telling, people are seeing things. People are seeing
things.
The
games industry weren't embarrassing and actively dangerous at every turn. I'm going back to bed. Massive amounts of marginalized people this person is referring to have also been criticizing SBI. So they sound extremely dishonest and insincere, trying to play this identity politics game that just isn't working and is not true. And as you can see there, one of the responses says, nice try. The hate was from Chris and the media that propped him up, but keep trying. Next, we've got Grums responding to a tweet from this Ryan person who in their bio claims to be a freelance news writer for NME, amongst other things.
Was that Battlefield 2014? No, this like...
And the reason we're current...
Kind of looks like it, doesn't it? It's like, what was it called
In the
again?
midst of what can only be described as hell, even for people completely divorced from the current situation. The fact that Capcom has decided to platform him in any way is
Ravenfield
just
is the name.
disgusting. Grump saying, cancel pigs are going
Also,
after
hi,
Asmongold
Ryan
and
Rock, hope
trying
you're
to
doing
get
good.
people to unsponsor him, including Capcom USA. These people are the actual disgusting
Unsponsor him.
harassers that have terrorized gaming and comics for too long. Asmongold has a right to cover gaming and have opinions. So once again, a bunch of journalists.
Bro, Asmon is more of a medical miracle. Dude apparently is normal function with his lifestyle. I'm worried about him all the time, man. But yeah, the worst part about this is that people can only talk about his like appearance or his room or a dead rat. They never can talk about his arguments. It's like those chatters he pulls up where they don't really have an answer to like their argument when they're disagreeing. They just disagree to disagree and try to move around the object.
And their buddies trying to defend a bunch of corrupt corpos and
I get so bored of it because I grew up with people always not arguing but discussing things, and it's whenever people are trying to discuss and they're like not doing it at all, they're moving away from the object. It's kind of boring.
Because how dare you talk about this stuff?
Great. You, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
People continue pointing out the hypocrisy, the bigotry, etc., of these various corpos in a reasonable manner, it's just going to keep going well for the gamers and not well for them. You know, they're getting more and more extreme as other people are simply pointing out what they're doing and saying things like, lol, I'm just not going to buy your games. And that's where I'll leave the segment. As always, thank you so much
all they
for
say.
tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one.
That's all they say. Lol, I'm not going to buy your product. I'm not going to spend the money I worked for to buy products related to you. That is the choice of the consumer, and there's nothing more to it. Nothing more. And that is just how the market is. If they don't want your products, they don't want your products, and that's it. Asmon makes good points. They just don't like him because they can't win in agreement. It's always easy to throw labels on them. Asmon also does sometimes make the wrong, do have like a wrong opinion about things. He does. It happens. But he talks about it, but he really believes those opinions. And he's there to discuss it, and he's free. You're free to try to change his mind, even though you probably won't. That happens. It is what it is. But that man, I have watched Zach for years. That man says all the time he's an asshole. He says all the time he did this and that when he was a kid. When he was a kid. But that man grew up. He is a very kind individual. He's a kind friend. He's super sweet. He's super nice. Always fun to talk to. And when he's live, he always considers everybody else's well-being that he's reviewing and that he's looking at. He does not send hate. He does not harass people. He doesn't do this shit. He just likes to talk. He's a yapper. He loves to yap, but he controls his yap. He controls it. I bet he could say a lot of bad shit about all of these dumb motherfuckers. Like, I'm gonna be real. That guy, I've heard him unsaid. My brother, he can talk. He can talk, but he doesn't do that because he knows he has an audience, and he knows that he personally doesn't want to have people like, he doesn't want to insult people if they haven't insulted him, right? This is like, he will kick back if you kick him. But if you haven't done it, he has no reason to. And I think that is fair. Like, if somebody pushes you, if somebody hits you in the face, like if a guy comes and hits you in the face and he comes again another day and hits you again, are you going to stand there all the time or are you going to hit him back? Like, I'm not sure. But yeah. I think that this whole thing is so stupid. Like, whole discussion is so dumb because it's just, it has no merit to it. There's like nothing really going actually on. There's just like a people don't want to buy a product from somebody. One guy covers it. They're mad because it gets more attention, and now they're calling out racism, hate, harassment. It's just a dumb discussion, man. It actually is dumb because there's no discussion to be made. I have respect for Asmon because he's true to himself. He is. He's very true to himself. I hope that one day he starts taking care of himself because I know that he has really good genes though, but I know that with age things get a little bit rougher. So I hope that he takes care of himself. Don't want my yapper to feel bad. That's the thing. If you can't win an argument, launch the smear campaign. Yep. That's your defense. I can't win the argument, so let's call out everything else. Let's do everything else besides discussing the argument or moving on or ignoring it. Let's just fucking go crazy on it. It's like talking to somebody that believes that Earth isn't flat. I have thankfully never talked to someone that believes that Earth isn't flat, man. Yeah, everybody on this world believes the Earth is flat, right? Because there's no way the Earth is round. That wouldn't make sense. No, I haven't really met anyone like that still. It's been, yeah. At least most of these chatters are funny and knows what they will. The ones arguing with Zach, I feel like most of them are dumb. I don't know. I find them so boring. Like some of them are interesting, but most of them are boring. People that flip-flop for other people's acceptance is a problem. True. Like they don't know where they are. They're trying to be accepted because they don't really have anything for themselves. They don't have any self-respect. So they're just trying to follow anyone else's agenda just to be like within the group, which is pretty sad. Asmon is just a streamer who checks on video. A lot of viewers, shares his opinion, and people go, yeah, he's a just chatting streamer. He just talks about topics. I love that. He loves to speak his mind. And most of the time, you can see his perspective, even if you don't agree with him. But people don't like listening. You say something, they don't agree with. Yeah, that's because they go unga bunga, man. They hear like one thing and they just like, oh, he said this and that. They don't really listen to what he says. I say it often in chat, like, you're not listening. People are not listening. They don't consume what he's saying, and they think about the worst possible outcome. Like, I'm gonna be real. I like, you listen to the guy, you can understand it, but you will disagree, and that's fine. Sometimes, like, I do that sometimes too, like, brother. But there are sometimes he says dumb shit, man. Like, I remember he did this WoW tier list. He did this WoW tier list zones, man. And this fucker,
through my expert,
I remember it to this day. This fucker right here, he dare put. Where is it? I know he did. Where is it? He dare put Darkshore in a lower rating and Feralis. This, I will forever remember this. This guy has the wrong opinions. Don't trust this man. How dare he put Darkshore is like one of the best areas in this entire game, and he rated it low. Where is it? I know he did. I remember it. He was, at least there's somewhere here, he talks about Darkshore. And he was talking wild smack. Man. Man, oh man, oh man. Bad category, L rating. Bad rating. Hellfire Peninsula, actually I agree with that one. Anyways, yeah. Don't believe this man. He lies. He lies. Darkshore is so dark. Darkshore is not so dark. It's a pretty chill place. I like Darkshore. Hi, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe. I'll post videos nearly every day, so if you want to watch any more reactions, feel free to subscribe and I'll see you there.